Good evening everyone and welcome to a brand new art stream. Sorry for the slightly unusual timing of this one, but as I'm sure anyone who has recently moved house can attest, it is a rather chaotic time. And I figure better to get in a stream at a slightly unusual time than to not do one at all. So indeed, welcome to today's stream. As you can see, we are painting a rather handsome chappy today. I have the details of the character over here. Let me just tell you a little bit about them. They are an Aasimar blood hunter today, which is a little bit different. Haven't done that for ages. So yeah, they've got a very cool, very kind of pale greyish skin, as I believe they are half drow, which is very cool. And yeah, we're kind of just gonna get straight into, as you can see, I've already started doing some rough layout of where the shadows are going to be cutting into the face. And that's what we're just going to be working on today. Hey Rebel, and thank you so much, Izzy Dungeon Maker, for subscribing. It's very, very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, a little bit unusual, but so a little bit of context. Obviously yesterday I was packing because we're moving house in a few weeks. And today I would usually have streamed closer to around 5ish, because that's my usual time. But earlier today I got a message from my letting agency, so kind of like my equivalent of my landlord, letting me know that they were going to tour tenants around tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And we've barely started packing, and we most certainly haven't started our deep clean that we've been planning to do. So I've been frantically cleaning and tidying today. So yes, been a bit chaotic, but we'll get there in the end, and when we do get there, my setup will be oh so much better. Bristol, yeah, I'm based in Bristol, and we are staying in town, so thankfully we haven't got to transport our stuff very far, which is really useful, but still a bit of a pain when you weren't expecting to have visitors, especially during COVID, and now we do. So lots of stuff to do. It's funny because in some ways my landlord is actually more chill than the letting agency that he kind of works with. He has literally never inspected my flat. I've lived here for 3.5 years in this flat, and never once have I had to do an inspection. So that's funny, and this is the first time like people from the outside have really come in to look at the place in a long time, so we've got our work cut out for ourselves tidying the place up. Thankfully, my partner is an absolute god when it comes to cleaning and tidying. Like, you should have seen the work he did to the bathroom today. It looks like a different bathroom, which I'm very grateful for, because I'm really, really bad when it comes to cleaning. I'm a really mean cook, but I am awful at cleaning. Hey, Les F, welcome to the stream. As you can see, I am working on your character today. This is going to be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed working on the sketch through line art stages of this chap, so yeah, we're going to be working on painting his portrait today and see how far we get with the rest of him. He looks like the type that would definitely be on the sea shanty craze right now. Just gonna get this little curve up there with the cheekbone, getting that smooth. We're not going to worry about being too perfect with these shadows at the moment, because soon enough we're going to add another layer of dark. So yeah, basically we'll have to do the blending all over again soon anyway. Pirate Blood Hunter. Yes. There we go. So just moving my reference out of the way so I can actually see what I'm doing. Let's get the shadow of the nose coming across there, nice and strong. This lighting is slightly different to how I usually light characters. There's more shadows on the side of the face that's kind of more facing towards us, like this area. Usually my shadows are on that side, but this time we're going the other way around because it's good to get practice at different things. Yes, that definitely helps, Talamancer. It kind of got to the stage that I just had a mountain of clothes piled up in the bedroom, and that wasn't. I mean, if anything, having an sort of inspection tomorrow is a good excuse to do a good old tidy of the place. But I would have liked a bit more notice. Alright, we're just going to soften a few of these shadows around here. Like so. And so I'm looking at the reference. I think that'll do for this layer of shadow. I think it's time to get on a bit darker. Yeah, it's the other way around. In my relationship, I'm the bad one. Thank you so much, username Pika, for following. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Right, so as we move towards the underside of the cheeks, we're going to be moving towards this slightly more purple rather than bluish grey, as you tend to get more warmth from the cheeks, that kind of area. As you can see, it's very similar to the grey I've already used, so I'm actually going to jump a step darker, like so, and then kind of eye drop from that, so it's not like too much of a sudden jump, you know? I've heard that joke before. That's it's a good one, but you hear it all the time here because I live in Bristol, which Bristol is like the place where the original pirate accent is like heard. You hear it every day. Like most Bristolians have a pirate accent. Oh, that's perfect. I'm pleased you like it. I spent a little while trying to get a colour scheme that I really liked for this chap, so I'm pleased that it is approved of. Okay, now we're okay with that colour. We can start blending it in a wee bit more. We want to get rid of that stripy effect, really. You know, sometimes when my tablet doesn't want to play, I don't know if today is going to be one of those days, we shall see. See, now I can see somewhere where the opacity isn't where it should be, and that's frustrating, so I'm just going to take a dark base colour and just make sure all the way up to the edge we have a nice, decent opacity. The beard is going to be a separate layer on top of this anyway eventually, so that don't matter too much. But yeah, I'm kind of curious, like, for you folks, is like streaming at this time of day better? I'm always like, I never know what's the best time to actually stream, because normally when I stream it's 5 PM in the UK, which I know is pretty early for anyone in the US. But then this time would be, is it like just after work kind of time on the East Coast? I don't know what people prefer in terms of when they like to tune in to watch streams. Okay, so a bit before work usually ends. Alright, getting that nice and smooth, that line now, that's coming in nicely. And we just got to do the same up here on the brow. Okay, well, you know. Okay. Well, I'll probably stick to the usual stream time because it's a little bit easier for me. This is pretty late in the evening. Usually it's when I'm winding down. I mean, I say that, that's a complete lie. This is usually my most frantic work period. Sometimes it's when I'm winding down. Most of the time I am about halfway into my work day at 9 o'clock. Now, I really want to get rid of this striping. It's annoying me to hell. So I'm going to use a massive ass brush to just get some nice coverage down. Oh, Inquisitor Mars, thank you so much. I find that too. I like watching other people stream because I find it inspires me to want to work on my own stuff and gives me ideas for stuff I can do next. So I'm very pleased. I'm going to suggest a slight bit of shadow around this eye and coming in under the jaw there. But as a general rule, that's looking alright. We've got a little bit of banding over here, so I'm just going to try and minimize. It should be on the other side of my tablet, really. I've got a patch that I've kind of worn down on one side of my tablet just because I use it so much. Thank you so much, Hermley. And thank you, Frost Warden, as well for the follow. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so close to getting my new webcam now. I think I'm like on 75%. I've just got a quarter to go. And I'm hoping to get it in time for when I move house so that when I start streaming again in a new place, we can just jump straight into it with some updated kit. It's going to be awesome. So any donations at all that come in today will be going towards my upgraded webcam fund. Oh, speaking of which, Lezef being an absolute legend in chat as always, thank you so much for the sub gifts. It's very, very kind of you. And I very much hope you are enjoying your character so far. I'm just gonna add some shadow to this edge of the eye there. Thank you so much, Monkey Masters. Yeah, if you have received a subscription, you can now access the Discord, so do go and check that out if you would like to. Obviously no one has to. But it's there, and we had some nice chats about like art and various things this week, which was nice. And then there's going to be a little bit of shadow just in this corner through there for the other corner of the eye. Like so, and we've got these contours of the face coming together quite nicely. I'm going to add a little bit more on the chin. About here. And there would be a little more kind of here as well. At this point, what I usually like to do is I will go back to the lines layer and I will remove a couple of these construction lines as they are no longer necessary, as most of the shape will be coming from the paint itself. Do I do Ko-fi? Yeah, I do Ko-fi. I will find a link for anyone in chat who's interested. Here, I should really make that a bot call thing. But yes, there is a link to Ko-fi. I actually have a goal on there. I can't remember what it's saying at the moment in terms of percentage, but yeah, we are almost there. And then my plan is in summer with my own money, I'm going to what I'm trying to do now is I'm setting money aside to get a proper digital camera because I want to make some more interesting things this year. I have some plans for I want to do some leather crafting tutorial videos because it's a really, really fun hobby. And I kind of got into it last lockdown, like way back last March or something. And it's very therapeutic and good at getting you away from a computer if, like me, you spend altogether too many hours at your computer. Oh my god, Rebel. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that might be what we needed. I might be ready to order it. That's so exciting. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much to Anonymous Cheerer for the bits as well. Honestly, I have the most wonderful, wonderful chat. Thank you all so much. Really, truly, genuinely, it means so much to me. And yes, Elleran, Late Night Scribbles, it is. We are working on a Blood Hunter Aasimar. And thank you so much. I'm going to say this awfully wrong, but I'm going to do my best. Tavu Mame Ramanomama. I hope I said that right, but thank you very, very much for the kind comments. Alright, we have quite a nice play with these shadows going on. I think it's time to play with some light. So what shall I do next? Let's make a new layer. In fact, I haven't even named this one yet. Golly, it's setting me up for a loser. Let's name the layer. Let's save the file. Yeah, ASMR race. That sounds like a good one. I've heard a lot of people play ASMR bods, and that one always gets a good laugh. So let's put a bit more dark in the little crannies of the eyes, because these are gonna be some nice dark broody eyes. There is a playable race in 5e called an Aasimar, which does sound exactly like ASMR, and they are essentially the angelic version of tieflings in that they are plain touched and have celestial blood in their veins. Alright, I think that's probably enough detail on the eyes. I think what I'm going to do next is, like I said, let's add a bit of light. Oh, Frumpkin the Faking, that's awesome. You should definitely show that off when you want to, because that sounds really cool. I love Essek. Essek's great. Okay, now for light, as you can see, I've already prepared some light colours that we're going to use. I'm just going to go back to my reference, pull it up. Okay, hey Angelus Lucius, welcome to the stream. Lucius, I keep saying Lucius, oh my god. Oh, good luck in the raid. What are you raiding? Or I should say, what game are you raiding? Right. Thank you so much, Talimancer, for the bits. That's so very kind. Ugh, you're all wonderful. It makes me so happy. I will update in the Discord as soon as I've got my new mic sorted, and you bet, as soon as I've got it hooked up, we will do a test stream. I'll probably play like Planet Zoo or something, something nice and chill. I nearly did Planet Zoo this evening, but I was like, nah, you know what, I want to do some art with people today, so that's what I'll do. You know, art is my thing, so. Alright, there's a little bit of light on that cheek, we can do the same on the other one. It doesn't need to be quite as bright on this side. Every little does very much help, so thank you immeasurably for the kindness. Oh yeah, Shikasta is a very cool character too. I really like Shikasta. I love their spiritual weapon. Alright, got a bit of light coming in nicely there. Now we're gonna splash some light where you get the most, which is of course the forehead. As always, using a nice big brush to just really spread that paint around. And then, of course, we blend it in. Same. There are so many guests I'd love to see come back on Critical Role. I absolutely adored, was it Neela, the Furbolg Druid? She was adorable and I loved her. I absolutely adored Mark's character. Oh my god. Kaliana. I loved Kaliana. And I want to see more of Kaliana so much. And there's loads of characters that I love from Crit Role that I want to see come back. Annoyingly, it's a bit too late at night for me to watch live. And if I'm up at 3 in the morning, it's usually because I'm working, and I find it hard to work sometimes watching Critical Role, especially live, because I like to watch it as well. Alright, that's nicely kind of blending in. We don't need to worry so much about, obviously the chin is going to be covered very much by beard, so we're going to work on that when we get there. Just going to put in a little bit of light there down by those sides. It was Neela, and oh yeah, Spurt. Well, we all wish Spurt could come back, but that's, unless he comes back as an undead kobold, in which case, I'd be game for that. Okay, what should we do next? I think we need to go even lighter. So, I just had a little alert come up on my computer that said my goofy goal had been reached, which is honestly, it just means a lot. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I really want to do loads more stuff this year. This year is the year. Already working with some truly awesome people, and I cannot wait to show you some of the stuff I've been working on because I am so excited. Cannot wait to talk about it, and I can't talk about it yet, but I promise soon I will. I'm jealous, Lucis. Thank you so much for the gifts. I have some wonderfully generous people in my stream, and I appreciate every last one of you. So am I. One of them is just, oh, I couldn't believe it when I realized what it was I was going to be working on. And I actually found out on Christmas Eve, which was like, this is the raddest Christmas present. And as soon as I'm able to talk about it, I will be telling everyone. Because it brings together a few things that I love. And yeah. And that's on top of other new things I want to do this year just for my personal channels. I want to do some videos, if Empire LARP gets started up again. I want to do some Empire stuff, see if I can get Mark involved in a few bits and pieces. Lezo, thank you so much for the bits. Hey! What a hype train we've got going. I still don't quite know how the whole hype train thing works, but I think at this point, I'm too scared to find it. Alright, there is a nice lot of highlight on that forehead. I'm just going to blend it in. And yeah, this is going pretty well so far. I'm always weird when it comes to painting beards. Beards are really hard to paint. I don't know if anyone else also struggles with beards. It might be because I'm so unfamiliar to the concept of having a beard. But it's always a texture that's quite a challenge. I kind of came up with a way of doing it a while back. But it's always a good challenge when I get to do another one. Alright, we've got this really nice bright highlight colour, and we're going to dab it in a couple of other places. Such as in this bit of skin coming across from the eye. We're going to have that nice bright highlight, just really giving us some nice contrast with the rest of that area. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just coming in with the bright light there. And then also on the cheekbone. I really hope Empire happens this year. If it doesn't, I'll totally understand why. Because, you know, it's safety first and all that. But I will be so happy if it happens. I love so one of my favorite things about Empire is actually introducing new people to it. Which is why I want to make some content around it. And I'd love to do it more from like the costume design side, because I make all my own costumes for Empire. Yes, I saw Foxglove 42, it just came through, which is incredibly exciting. I will be definitely ordering that, ordering the camera I've been looking at as soon as stream is over. Right, little bit of highlight just on the lip, because you will get one as it naturally comes out. Thank you so much, Lezef, for cheering even more. This Lezef cannot be stopped. And there you go, there's a quick zoomed out look at what we've done so far. And Frankie the Faking, thank you so much. Yeah, I've done cosplay. I can't remember when I tweeted it, but a couple of years ago, I think it was 2018. I did a full cosplay of Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels. I made the armor and everything. I still have it. It's a little bit damaged, but I still have my Sabine Wren cosplay. Oh my goodness, thank you again so much to Shazy Art for the sub-gifts. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Queerbird00, for subscribing as well. It's awesome stuff going on today. Okay, so you can see that's our lighting layer, and I'm quite happy with that, so I'm going to merge it down into our skin, and we are going to make a new layer, and I'm going to call it Nose, because that's the next thing to do. Yeah, Sabine's awesome. If you scroll back on my Twitter for long enough, you will find my Sabine Wren cosplay. But this year, my plan is to do a full Eris Morn cosplay, is my goal anyway. It's going to have to wait till I'm settled in the new place, because as much as I'm tempted, getting craft stuff out now while we're packing everything away would be a terrible idea. Thank you so much to Darkwolf625 and the Stressman for following. But yes, so Sabine was a couple of years ago. This year is planned for Eris Morn. And maybe some other stuff if I've got time, because I really, really enjoy cosplay. I don't go to conventions all that often, but then again, we don't have a metric ton of conventions here in the UK. We've got a few very good ones. I mean, I say that. I personally find MCM a little bit overwhelming. It's less overwhelming when you go in costume, because I get kind of caught up in the excitement of being in costume, and that's fun. Yeah, I definitely want, if it's running this year, which I think it is, I want to try and get Eris Morn done for MCM this year. So, yeah, I should be at MCM Comic Con London, hopefully, this year. We shall see. Alright, so once we've got that base layer down for the nose, it is time to start highlighting and giving it some shape. So we're going to start with this nice dark shadow we've already got kind of being cast by the nose. And we are going to carefully study the shapes of the shadows we have going in the in my reference picture. And just follow these shapes around. Usually it starts with like a wibbly wobbly line, just following these contours on the bottom of the nose. And in this case, because we've got strong light coming in from the left, we're going to have a harsh shadow cutting down the right hand side of this nose, like so. And this really gives us a nice bit of contrast on the face. Yes, I am cautiously optimistic that hopefully the vaccines will help a whole lot of people. I highly doubt myself or my partner will be getting any vaccines anytime soon, because neither of us are frontline workers. So I obviously won't be really engaging with stuff until it's safe to do so, because otherwise, you know, it's danger to other people and danger to ourselves. But if cons and stuff do run this year, that'll be great. If they don't, it just gives me another year to make and plan costumes, I suppose. So, you know, got a glass half full of stuff. Alright, so we've got that side coming together quite nicely. I'm just going to push the shape of the nostril light down a wee bit, like so. Yeah, I generally miss being in costume and cosplay a lot. I might do some, when we've got space, when we've done the move and stuff, I want to do some more kit tests for my Empire character. I might even consider getting a TikTok. I mean, that's scary new ground for me. I've never had TikTok. But I really love dressing up, you know? It's why I do Empire and everything, and cosplay and all that stuff. Oh, Talamancer, thank you so much. There's always more I want to do though. I already have designs and plans in mind to completely redo my my Empire kit almost from scratch. I'm never satisfied with it. Every time I see like a cool bit of inspiration, I'm like, oh, I've got to change it up again. Gregzilla, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next week or tomorrow if you're around. I plan to try and stream tomorrow. It'll be after... Ooh, level 3 hype trainer mode. Let's do that, why not? I do plan to stream tomorrow. It'll have to be after the people who have come to see the flat buggered off. So probably more like 6 rather than 5. But I will try and keep everyone posted on the good old Twitters. And yeah, let people know when it'll be. Oh, someone else. I'm getting confused then. So you can see where there's a little bit of lack of opacity coming in. But anyway, let's just put on this highlight because obviously right now the nose is too dark. They're looking a bit like a furbolg. But we got this highlight coming down here. It softens a little bit in the middle. And then obviously we have the diamond of power on kind of like the apex of the top of the nose itself, where we will have a lot of light hitting. Like so. Rebel, thank you so much for joining. As always, it's been absolutely lovely to have you here, and I very much look forward to hopefully hanging out tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Kind of blending in these bits of light and dark a little bit. Jump down to a smaller brush. And that contrast with the shadow on the right is really nice. I'm very fond of that. Yes, the one downside about working on an incredibly exciting project that I can't talk about much is that, of course, because it's all NDA, I cannot stream while I'm working on a project, which means that my streams will continue to be kind of private commission projects mostly, and depending on some weeks where I might have a deadline, I'll probably end up streaming something like Planet Zoo, which I've got into a lot again recently. Planet Zoo's great. It's just nice and chilled. I think sometimes I really need a very chill video game to play as like a quick work break. It's usually Planet Zoo or Stardew Valley. I haven't played any Stardew Valley since I last streamed it, so I might end up doing that again, or we might, might try Planet Zoo. Who knows? All right, let's go. We're making a new layer on top of the lines. Of course, this is the over lines layer, as anyone who's watched me paint will probably be familiar with. Have I ever dealt with trying to stream whilst working with chemicals like mineral spirits? Wow, that's very interesting. Not really. I am imagining I will probably find that very situation if I start doing some streams along the lines of leather work, because rather than, it depends. If you're dyeing the leather, there's some chemicals there. But dyeing's not a particularly interesting process to watch, so I probably wouldn't stream that specifically. Most of the rest of the process is quite organic. It's just water and then using the carving tools. But I have done a bit of print work in my time, and yeah, there are a lot of awkward chemicals to work with that might make streaming a bit more difficult. Alright, I'm quite pleased with that nose. We've got a few more details to put in, such as the shadows underneath. So we are going to do it now. Oops, not doing it quite that far. Oh, please excuse me, my dinner didn't go down that long ago. Right, let's do these nostrils. So we have one that kind of comes in there. Shadow comes down. Then the other nostril comes through there. This guy's got a bit of a Khal Drogo look going on actually, which is pretty cool. And then we actually need a bit more shadow coming around the bottom of this nose, so I'm going to take that dark kind of purpley brown and we're just going to draw that around like so. And then we can use a bit more for the kind of shadow that the nose is generating. Kind of fading out as we move away from the nose itself. And then going dark again around this corner here. Oh, excuse me. Then this line is going to come through a tiny bit, like so. And then we are going to shoot a tiny bit darker right for those very darkest parts of the nostril. Like so, there. And in there. And then we have a nose. So let's save quickly, because we do not want to lose all we've worked on. Oh, Illarin. Not again. The puns are back. And then we're going to just add a tiny bit more light up on that surface of the nose there. I might extend that a little bit. Oop, my screen just went a bit weird. This around a tiny bit, minimizing the light on that part, and then probably going to hit for a bit more light up here, and then we can do a bit more blending as well to get rid of some of those harsh outlines. Yeah, that shape's a bit better. So let's just cut that in there. Alright, and then save. Oh no, here they go. They're getting worse and worse as time goes on. Alright, lips is something we should do. We're going to do them on the same layer as the nose for now. So we are going to start with the dark colour. It's kind of pinkish, more pinkish purple, to mark in the top lip. Like so. And then I'm just going to do the bottom lip on the skin layer because we don't really need to make a new layer for that. And it's just a touch darker than a touch lighter than the one above and a tiny bit darker than the base skin tone. Alright, and then we can get to adding some detail. So we are going to take some of the nice dark colours we've used elsewhere and apply them to the lips. Actually, no, we don't care about that. We are going to go down a few brush sizes though. Like so. Thank you so much, Fail3140 and Tilly Bucker, and the Hands So High as well. Sorry I missed you earlier, but thank you so much for following. And then we've got quite a lot of shadow here actually coming from where the moustache is casting. Like so, and then the bottom lip can be quite a bit lighter. Still going to have shadows cast by the top lip and the moustache, like so, but they're not quite as prevalent as the top lip shadows are. I'm going to get a big brush. I'm going to go down to the skin layer to add these shadows in. And there'll be a little bit of shadow coming from the other side, but not so much. And then we blend. And then we're going to take the normal skin color and put some light back in. As we don't want the lips to go too dark. And then, yeah, it's just kind of blending again to get back to the color we originally want. Like so. Oh, you're getting a bunny? What kind of bunny? Tell us about the bunny. We must know. For science. Alright, I'm quite pleased with how those are looking. Let's go up to the overlines layer and just adjust a few things a tiny bit. That's so cute. I love bunnies. Buns are good. Just adding a little bit more in the way of highlights onto these lips. Oh, Rex! They're the velvety ones, right? Sorry, it's been a long time since I've had a bunny. Oh, they're really sweet. Yeah. When I was younger, we had a kind of lion's head bun, and he was very sweet. Alright, just using the overlines there to tidy up a few parts of the mouth and the lips at the moment, in particular, kind of the join. Just making that a little bit more neat. And then save, because yeah, we're doing pretty well with this right now. And then, oops, we're on the wrong layer there. We want to go, we actually can merge down the nose layer now, going back to the skin there. Actually, that's fine where it is. And we can add a little bit more shadow to these eyes, because very soon we're wanting to paint the eyes themselves, so. Gotta make sure they got a nice house to sit in. Those are both grey names. For some reason, I can't help but imagine that a Percy would be a white rabbit, like a grey one. I'm going to make the outsides of the eyes quite dark because we want that to contrast with the eye colour, which is going to be quite piercing. Okay, I'm really liking where this is going. So back to the overlines there, we've got a few details to add. We want to add some of this really bright highlight inside the eyelid. So going down to about 4, nice and small. we are going to... First, we're going to put a bit of light right in the lid itself. Just going to tone down the edge a little bit. Same on the other side. Nice. And then we're just gonna turn down the color of the lid itself, which doesn't need to be quite so dark. The lower lid, anyway. The upper lid will need to be fairly dark. Although even that will have areas of light, which we can just pop in. Like so. Okay, I think we're ready to actually add the eyeballs in because that will make the rest kind of easier to see and deal with. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of tidying around here. There we go. And probably a little bit tidying around here as well. Just to make sure that the eyelashes and lids don't get lost. Okay. Right, let's add some eyes in. Yeah, with this kind of colour palette, he does look a little bit marbly, doesn't he? I've just kind of noticed down here, there's a little bit, I just wanna... There we go. That's a bit better. Cool, so for eyeballs we need to make a new layer above the skin, and then surprisingly we're going to call it eyes. And then, let's check the colours that the eyes is going to have. Ah, I'm remembering now. Yeah, this character has rather interesting eyes. This character's eyes are black and white, where the black is the sclera. So, we're going to need to start with a truly dark colour for the eyes. Hey Amanda Wookie, welcome to today's stream. Always lovely to have you here. This might need us to add a bit more to the areas surrounding the eyes, because I forgot they were going to be this dark. Cool eyes make a cool character, it's true. Alright, overlines, we're going to tone you down a bit. Like so. And then we're going to want to go even darker and go over those eyelashes again. Because right now they ain't dark enough. Nope, I don't want a 3, I want a 4. Just going over the outline, whoops, of the eyes there. So we've got that contrast back. Okay, wonderful. Now we can add a little bit of light. This is more or less the colour the sclera is kind of going to be, so we don't want to change it too much. So again, that's probably, yeah. We'll start there and see if we like it. Like so. Yeah, I'm liking this. This is kind of quite a nice combination of colours. Very Blood Hunter to have creepy eyes. It does give a bit of the Fallen vibe, doesn't it? Well, that's the thing, Elaran. These eyes aren't going to get much lighter than this. The sclera is going to be much darker than the surround. more light later, but for now, let's add some irises. So for the irises, quite a contrast. We're going to be very bright silvery white. I still start off with kind of a more mid-ground greyish silver. Like so. This is going to be fun. And then with that, we're just going to add a little bit of shadow to the top. And then blend that in. And then take a nice dark colour to be our pupil. Quite striking and spooky. And then just again a little bit more shading on the top, just to bring the pupil kind of into the eyes a bit more. There we go. Then we can start adding a bit more of the tone colour. We're going to go back up to that overlines layer, and yeah, we're going to start adding some detail. Now the ring around the outside of the iris is going to be very dark. So, whoops, we're just going to reinforce that on this layer. So, and then we can start adding the brightness that we want. I'm actually going to add some blue as well. This is going to tone this down a little bit eventually, but for now, just a little bit of colour in the bottom there. Before we then go back slightly more towards grey to get the next lighter colour. And now I am going to let it take me to a 3. Because we're going to do a very bright ring around the pupil. Almost all the way around. Stronger on the bottom and a little more gentle on the top. And then we can, whoops, not zoom in that far. Do the little lines radiating from that. Kind of reminds me of an eclipse. Like so. Yeah, that's coming along quite nicely. And then we'll want a bit which is really bright. That side will work best. And then we're going to make Elleren's favourite layer ever. The shinies layer. And add the little glistening highlight. Got to a 9 for this. And try on this side first and see how it grabs us. Do I like it there? Oh, I think I do like it there. Let's just make it a tiny bit bigger on that side. Yeah, that's working for me. And then sometimes I experiment with adding a little bit of light on this side too. But I don't think these eyes really need it. They're kind of speaking for themselves. And yeah, there we have some nice spooky eyes. I'm going to add just a little bit of kind of fleshy colour here. Ooh. Just the insides there. And there we have it. So let's save again, because we don't want to lose it all. And we can move on to the next part, which is the... Oh no! Ignore me completely. We need to do the ear, the neck, and the left hand. So, back to the skin layer. We're just going to merge a few of these layers into each other. Eyes can stay by themselves for now. But but the ear we must do. Oops, wrong layer. I usually start with doing the very dark kind of indent in the kind of inner ear itself. Oh, Les F, wonderful. I'm very pleased you like them. And then I'm just going to come around like so. Add the shadows to the ear. Here we go, yeah. Again, keeping it fairly rough to start with while we just kind of work out where all these shadows are going. A little bit coming in like there. And then at this point, I tend to add some slightly deeper shadows. So I'm happy with the overall shape, such as up here, down there. You can see a few areas of bad transparency, so let's put that in there. And then I will pop back up to the overlines layer to add some highlights. So. There is an ear. And so with the ear done, we can do the neck, which will be fairly simple to do. The neck's going to be in heavy shadow mostly. So let me just pull up my reference. Yes. Heavy shadow. Well, I've noticed something quite interesting that I'm going to have a crack at in a minute. So this is the shadow cast by the beard and the collar. And then that's also going to come up there a little bit. Whoops. Boink. Oh no, Talamancer, that sounds awful. Bill's the worst at the best of times. I have to pay my my tax in the next couple of days. That's gonna be fun. Alright. Oh, thank you so much, Kafka, for following. I hope you enjoyed the stream. So here's something fun I want to do. Just as soon as I've put in the last kind of bit of light that is going to be coming up that side of the neck. I'm going to try just doing a tiny bit of side light coming from the right and see how I feel about it. So for example, if I just make a little kind of temporary test layer, I suppose you could call it. Let's say we wanted a bit more light. And we just wanted to put a bit of light. Oops. I think this actually is going to be there for now. Coming from the side. Which explains why this is here. And we'll also add brighter light to the rim of the ear. Yeah, so thankfully a member of my family is a bookkeeper, so they're kind of helping me understand all the self-assessment stuff for this year. Has been very useful. yeah, that's a bit of side light. Just kind of try it out. I like it. I think it's a bit too harsh on the cheek, so I'm going to tone that down. But it just adds a little bit of something, you know. And with that, I think it's time we do the hand. Oh, how much commissions are? They are, you can find all my commission prices on my Patreon, which has all the info on it regarding commissions. It also has information for how I do commissions, how the system works, and yeah, that should have everything you are looking for on it. Do I like this after all? I think I will once the hair is in, so I'm going to leave it a separate layer for now. But first, we need to do the hand, which I'm going to scrub over a nice kind of blank dark purple. So we've got a nice shadow layer in. I'm also just going to go over and just make sure all our opacities are where they should be. You can see that it's a little bit transparent at some of the edges. Often a problem I have when my initial colour is quite pale because it's harder to notice when you've got transparencies like that. Oh, thank you so much, Spartan Mjolnir. That's very kind. Okay, so once that's done, we can start adding some light. So again, I usually paint with a big brush when I'm working out my lights and shadows. Like so. And then we kind of zoom out to see if that works, and it kind of does. So we're like, okay, let's use that as our starting point and work from there. A lot of the way I paint is very experimental. I never get things right the first time. I really like, that's one of the things I really enjoy about this channel is that folks do get invested in other people's characters, and I think that's really lovely. I think that's a nice thing about the general D&D community that I've kind of come to get to know, is that people are curious and like they want to know about your character, especially if you've got kind of like you express like stuff about them, and there's nothing more fun than someone asking you, you know, wanting to learn about something you've created. So it's one of my favorite parts kind of to D&D. There we go, that's a better look on the neck there. Alright, let's add some deep shadows. Let's get shadowy. And then once we've got some of the shadows in, once again, we blend to get the nice soft transition between them. Oh man, I used to do so many play-by-post roleplay forums when I was a bit younger. They were great fun. Would probably have kept them up as well, but you know, people and time change. Blend, 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 blend. 5 hours later. How it feels sometimes doing this style. It's so blendy all day long. Whoops. Although I quite like how that's come along, that's looking quite good. We need to add some fingernails, which I'm going to do slightly darker, because I think that'll just look better, especially when you find out what colour the hair is going to be. Oh, Queerbird, oh, thank you so much. I'm pleased you're able to catch the stream as well. In fact, let's do this in overlays. And then we're just gonna... And then, whilst we're in the overlines layer, I might use it to just overpaint some of the lines that are superfluous. No, superfluous requirements? Is that the phrase? I can't remember. Not superfluous, that's a completely different adjective. What am I talking about? I don't know. Rachel doesn't know what she's saying. She don't make no sense. Right, of course we are going to need the nail on the top part of the thumb as well. That's very cool. Alright, now we're going to save because we do not want to lose everything. Oh, AMR, that sounds really cool. Alright, so with the hands and the rest of the skin done, bear in mind the other hand is going to be wearing a glove, which is why I haven't done that one. The next thing we're going to do is the eyebrows and the hair. So starting with eyebrows, we're actually going to go on the eyes layer for this. And this character is going to have dark blood red hair, which is really cool and I've been looking forward to painting it. So for dark blood red, we're actually going to start as a very dark purpley magenta and go from there. I should probably make this a clipping mask as well. Whoops, and take it off of Alpha Lock. Big strong eyebrows. And then just following the shape of where the hairs are flowing around, across, and down. We have some nice intense looking eyebrows. The next thing to do is take a darker colour, give them a little bit of shadow where shadow is owed. And then equally, a little bit of light, which is going to push towards that red. This character is very metal. It's true. Alright, let's start work on this hair then. A new layer we're going to make underneath the skin. We're going to call it hair, unsurprisingly. And for now, I'm just going to do the top part. The beard is going to be separate. So we're going to need to grab that colour we used for the base of the eyebrows and use that for the hair. Ah, wonderful. Lezef, that's so good. Thank you so much. Very happy to hear. So we're going to cut off about here and do the beard separately. And just using circular little motions of the brush to fill in these lumps and bumps. I'm going over them to make sure we have full opacity. Yeah, we're just going to kind of fill in the hair there. Oops. Thank you so much, Valia323 and Brad Tattoo, for following. Hope you enjoy the stream. We've had quite a good one today, haven't we? Not least to mention how wonderfully sweet and kind everyone has been in chat today. It's been really nice. Especially after a very, very busy and stressful few days. It's been genuinely wonderful to be able to really reach some milestones today. Just going to fill in these little strandly bits at the back. I think we need something a bit smaller than a... yeah, 9 will do us nicely. So, we've just got this strand that's coming down here. And a few little ones. And they're just coming along like so. And then we're using a razor to really make the ends nice and sharp. Whoop, not like that. Oh, like that? No, I'm messing that up, aren't I? There we go. I'm gonna have more strands than that eventually, you'll see, but for now, this is kind of what we are working with. Actually, there's probably, needs to be a bit out here too. Yeah, and then we'll just do the long strands coming down. Bye, Talismancer. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a lovely night's sleep. And yeah, be back on tomorrow. Puns are too strong. Can't take it. Alright, I like that shape. That shape's nice. Now we'll just do the other side. And kind of wanted the effect that the wind was kind of tousling the hair from one side to the other, so hopefully that will come across in the finished piece. Alright, there is some hair. So now I'm going to add some little strands, so I'm going to keep on a 6 for now, and then we're just going to just add some loose strands kind of on top of the ones we've already got. These ones are less kind of constrained by the line art. And this can take a bit of trial and error, kind of working out what looks good. But yeah, I'm liking this. Also, we don't need the palette anymore, so that can go away. Right, so the next thing to do is get our nice little gradient in place. So as you can see, we have our starting colour. We're going to need a darker version. Just to scribble that right on there for the darker areas. And we're going to need a lighter version, which is going to start making its way up towards that nice blood red. Oh no, it's getting worse. The puns are getting worse. Right, then I'm going to go and find a Gaussian blur. Put that on to get a nice gradient between the two extremes of the colour. And then we're going to take from the darker part of the gradient, switch to my hair rendering brush, which for anyone who is wondering, it is part of a set called the Lewin fur brushes. I'll just hover over it so you can see. If you Google it, it's kind of on Gumroad. I really recommend if you're painting hair or fur, you check it out. It is great for those things. So let's just put that away. Like that, yeah. Momentarily I forgot how to put the brush selector away. It's been a long week. It's almost Friday though. Do this. And then using this brush, we're just going to start rendering the hair. Angelus Lucis, thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely, lovely evening. And I will see you soon. A little bit messy there. Let's just tidy up a little bit. Doing it again. And we kind of get this nice effect coming in on the hair. A few bits. Add a bit more. In here. I'm going to do this undercut bit kind of separately in a minute, so. And then picking the even darker colour to shade the parts that are already shadowed. Like so. Obviously there's going to be quite a deep shadow right next to where the hair kind of folds in on itself, and then that'll quite quickly dissipate into lighter tones. There we go. Then I'm actually going to do this on, no, we'll stay on this layer. I'm going to take from the lighter part of the spectrum and use that to do some highlights. Kind of see they're coming together. And then we can also do a bit of highlighting down here. Like so. And we can even add some really dark shadows as well. In areas where we already have reached the darkest part of the gradient, we'll make a new shadow colour. Also, who else is super excited for Pokemon Snap? I watched the trailer earlier, it looks adorable. So, very excited for that. Oh, Lionel, thank you very much. We're just going to go across and proceed to shade this bit on the left. Alright, and now we've done that, we can do some true highlights. So I'm going to take from the lightest part currently, and we're just going to grab a lighter colour and just really get that nice red shine. Like so. Yeah, that's the one, the photography game. I actually didn't play the original, but the trailer makes it look so chill and so relaxing that I think it'll be a well-timed game. A bit like how they timed Animal Crossing last year. You know, sometimes people need that relaxation. Tiny bit of the red just coming through down here. Kind of reminds me of the colour of a garnet. The way it's almost black, but when you hit it in the light correctly, you get these lovely, lovely red tones. Thank you so much, Pendragon Nomad, for following. Hope you enjoy the stream. Okay, so with that, I've just noticed a couple of things I want to sort out on the face. For example, there's a little bit of opacity missing here. I just want to dip in like so, and then blend back as always. Blend, blend, blend. Pull my hair up with sunshine, sunshine. Cool, and then we're going to tidy up some of these edges around the hair. Hello, oh thank you so much, yes. This one's been a lot of fun to work on, and yeah, I'm excited for the next stage, which is the beard. Excited and afraid, because beards are hard to draw. And really here we are just taking the skin back so it's not kind of creeping on where the hair is supposed to be. And you can see, especially around the ear and the neck, we get a bit of over bleed where we've gone outside the lines. And we cannot go outside the lines. That would make me bad at painting by numbers. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of shadow just up by the hairline where the hair is. Just going to cast a little bit. Like so. And I think, since we've been going for an hour and a half now, this is probably where we're going to call it for this evening. So, thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I know it's a little bit of an odd time, but we should be back to normal. Well, actually, I say that. I can't promise being back to normal until we've done with the house move stuff, but I will do my best to stream twice a week minimum. 3 times if I can. So let's pop some links in chat. Oh, Leza, thank you so much for the bits. I hope you've enjoyed watching your character come together, and yes, you will see them completed, hopefully, in a few days. So, let's start with Twitter. No DeviantArt yet, I'm sorry. If you want to hear updates about when I'll be streaming and see finished work, all that kind of stuff, please consider following me on Twitter. That's where I post the most. And thank you so much, Queerbird. That's very kind. I also have an Instagram where I will post art as well. I also post some miniature painting and just nice photos on there as well. So check out my Instagram. Give me a follow if you like. I now have also got a YouTube. If you missed the first half of the stream or you want to see some of my other streams, excuse me, check out my YouTube. I will upload all the VODs within a day or two after I stream, and I also have a YouTube series I'm in the middle of working on right now, which is based on Destiny 2 lore. So if that sounds remotely interesting, please check it out. I'm really enjoying making this little short series. And next up, music. If you've enjoyed the music I use in my streams, it's all by a super cool artist named Kai Engel. It can be found on the Free Music Archive as well as on Spotify, and is really good ambient stuff. It's also royalty free, so great for use in streams. What's next? What comes after that? I think we are down now to ArtStation. Yes, if you want to just see my full portfolio, ArtStation's the place to go. And last but certainly not least, if you want to help support my work and support this as my full-time job, check out my Patreon. There are a few different levels on there and different bonuses you can get, such as exclusive artwork, commission priority, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, do please consider checking out my Patreon. Okay, so I think with that we are done for this evening. I will probably be back tomorrow around 6 p.m. GMT. If that changes, I will let you know. It'll depend on when the people who are viewing my flat get out of my flat. So I will let you know. Until then, stay safe, stay warm, and I will see you all very soon. Goodbye!